everyone, welcome to another episode of Real Life, Real Talk, where today we'll be discussing living with bipolar. We've got a very special guest for you all today, so I'd like to introduce him now. Hey Matt.
Morning.
Morning, how are you
Hi.
going?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. So, as we've just heard, this morning we're going to be talking about living with bipolar,
Yeah,
something I've done for quite a long period of time.
yeah. Wow, awesome. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you lived with bipolar?
Yep, I was diagnosed officially way back in 2002.
Yeah.
So, that's now 21 years.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. Would you like to tell us a bit about that diagnosis process? Like, when did you start thinking there was something that you wanted to look into?
So, like a lot of cases of diagnosis of bipolar, I could identify that I was suffering some depression. I went to my GP when this was reoccurring to say that I thought I was suffering depression, not knowing what the hypomania and mania side of bipolar was. And I was put on a course of antidepressants. And when you're put on a course of antidepressants without movement stabilizers, can act as rocket fuel and
Oh,
send you into hypomania or mania. That's when my GP referred me to a psychiatrist and I got the diagnosis of bipolar.
oh wow. That's really interesting, Matt. How do you think your life has changed since you've gotten your diagnosis?
When I first got the diagnosis, it was quite hard to accept.
Yeah.
I was 27 years old at the time, and who are you to tell me that I have to take medication for the rest of my life to lead a stable life?
Yeah.
Was my response to the doctor. Uh, But as I embraced and got more insight into what bipolar disorder was all about, um, and managed the highs and lows a lot better,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it improved over time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you feel now looking back at that time? And, like, I guess it's been almost half your life
yes,
on the medication. And how do you think life has changed?
yeah. Well, right now, I'm in a good place. I've been in a good place for uh, a couple of years now of stability. And I put that down to compliance with the medication.
Yep.
So taking the medication as the psychiatrist has prescribed, making sure that I have a good support network around me.
Yep.
And by that I mean my GP, my psychiatrist, my psychologist, and then my NDIS supports.
Yep.
Um, so keeping active, and there's been the NDIS package that I have. It's been really helpful in making sure that I keep active with support workers,
Yep.
going for walks, having coffees on a regular basis. There may be periods that I'm feeling down with depression, but the support workers ensure that I get out, get some sunshine, and that helps with keeping with the stability in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all our watchers at home who have bipolar or might be in that process where they think that they have bipolar, I know that there might be some stigmas out there around getting tested, around getting diagnosed. Is there anything that you'd want to tell them?
Yes, it definitely has improved from when I was first diagnosed all those years ago.
Yeah.
I used to work in the corporate world where it was a big no-no to discuss mental health issues. I see now that a lot of workplaces have embraced mental health and are far more comfortable in having those conversations within their workplaces,
Yeah.
which is a huge win from where we were.
Yeah.
That makes things easier. Being able to talk to different people about their experiences as well without the fear of judgment.
Yeah. You've recently started a bipolar support group?
Yes,
Yeah.
so uh, really wanted to give back. I believe that giving back is part of keeping myself stable,
Yeah.
and I've had the luxury of receiving good support. So, put together a bipolar support group where we meet on a monthly basis. Bipolar sufferers, carers of people with bipolar, family members of people with bipolar.
Yeah.
We meet and talk through what's going on for people, check in,
Yeah.
and try and assist each other in getting through difficult times.
Yeah.
Yeah, going through strategies on how to stay stable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Now you've mentioned you have a really good support network. You've mentioned that you've put together this support network for people with bipolar. Do you think that having that support network is really vital? What would you suggest to people who don't currently have that?
absolutely. Reach out if possible. I know it's difficult if you are going through an episode of depression, particularly to reach out, but uh, there are a lot of resources out there now.
Yeah.
Um, you may want to investigate the NDIS if you're not already a participant of the NDIS,
Yeah.
to allow you to have those support networks around you, support workers, and uh, that's a really good starting point for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
awesome. So we've talked a bit about when you got your diagnosis, you noticed there was the downs. You didn't realize that you were really having the ups as well. And it took a while to work out like the antidepressants, the mood stabilizers, things like that. What other signs are there? What other behaviors are there of a person with bipolar?
Sure. For me, the ups, the hypermania and mania, uh, excessive spending was one of them. So lots of shopping, internet shopping, um, with the feeling that, oh, no problem, I'm going to get a promotion in a couple of months' time to pay it all off. Like that's the belief that I was having at the time.
Yeah.
Um, Sleep goes out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, so a real lack of sleep,
Yeah.
but still feeling fully energized and bouncy.
Yeah.
So might only be sleeping 2 or 3 hours a night
Oh wow.
and still feeling super recharged and
Yeah.
ready to tackle the world. Highly productive as well.
Okay.
So back when I was working in my corporate job, yeah, being able to churn out work as fast as possible and
Yeah.
um, all seems like a benefit at the time. Um, and wonderful, but what goes up unfortunately must come down.
Yeah.
So after you've had that period of
The highest of highs.
yes, um, often yeah, you do come crashing down
To
into
the lowest of
the
lows.
lowest of lows. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, wow. Is there anything that you would suggest those of us that don't have bipolar look out for in our friends, family, those around us in life that do?
Yeah, similar to depression. When you are experiencing depression in bipolar, many people tend to isolate,
Yeah,
so you won't hear from them as often from your friends or family that member that has bipolar.
yeah,
They withdraw,
yeah,
so start cancelling on activities and going out. Um, so that's a big indicator that perhaps someone is not in a very good position, maybe experiencing bipolar.
yeah,
Um, and then on the flip side of that, the hypermania or mania, um, so many ideas going on at once, talking quite rapidly.
yeah,
Um, that's also a giveaway that things are on the up.
yeah.
Yep.
And so when things are on the up, like obviously, like when somebody is in the low, you've really got to be there for them.
Yes.
What sort of support do you think somebody really needs when they're in that high?
Yeah, I think it's to suggest that they perhaps are experiencing a high,
Yeah.
but it needs to be done quite
The right way.
delicately and the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much of you having a high,
Yeah.
but trying to catch them when they're in a position to receive that sort of feedback that appears to be what's going on in their life
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah.
When you're in a high, it's very seductive because it does feel so good.
Yep.
So, yeah, to remind the person that they perhaps already have the skills of how to manage
Yep.
when they're in a high.
Yeah. Really reminding them to rely on their toolkit.
Yes.
If you would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess talking about toolkits, and I know it might be different for every person, but what sort of things do you have in your mental health toolkit?
Yeah, sure. So, I, apart from the support network that I've got around me,
Yep.
it's the simple things for me. So, even just taking a long, nice hot shower
Oh, nice. Yep.
with a good body gel,
Yep.
smells nice.
Yep.
That helps when I'm either depressed or when I'm having it up as well to
Yep.
calm me down.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Catching up with friends.
Yep.
As hard as it may be in the depressed zone.
Yep.
Yeah, talking to people.
Yeah.
Even if it's just over the phone or if you can get out for a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said earlier a bit of outside time always helps as well.
Yes, the sun is magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
So a little bit of a cheeky spruik. We've got Fresh Air Fridays coming up soon.
Yes.
So just chuck that in there a bit cheekily. So you've mentioned earlier that your support network is made up by GP, psychiatrists, psychologists, and you've also mentioned the NDIS. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about how they assist you?
So the NDIS provides a budget that allows me to have support workers on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And like I said, with those support workers, I choose to go for walks, have coffee, go for drives.
Yeah.
That's really, really good for my mental health.
Yeah.
And I credit that to keeping me stable.
Yeah.
And the position that I've been in for the last little while.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you sort of discuss that plan at the start with the support workers? This is what I want to do, so that if you are having a low, they know, well, Matt has said that these are the things he wants to do. Let's try and rally him to.
Yeah. So when I first met with the support workers, certainly said that.
Yep.
Another thing I did was, if I'm not in a particularly good place,
Yep.
and I say I'm reluctant to go out for a walk, I've given them permission to really push me. Because I know in the end
You'll feel much better for it.
beneficial. And I maybe, no, not today, but I've given them permission to push me. Come on,
Yeah.
let's get out, even if it's just around the block.
Yeah.
It will do the world of good. So
yeah. How did you go about accessing the NDIS?
Yes, so I had assistance from a support coordinator. Yep.
Awesome. I know that some people find it a bit hard to get onto the NDIS.
Yes.
They find the process quite overwhelming. And that's, when you're having a good day, the process can be quite overwhelming.
Yes.
We have an advocacy team here at Real Life Assistance. If you believe you need help, you can reach out to them at advocacy@reallifeassistance.com.au and they will assist you. Matt, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today?
My journey's been quite a long one,
Yeah.
uh, living with bipolar, and I think I have acceptance now that I have the disorder,
Yeah.
and I believe that over the years done many things to put that wonderful support network in place.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is another simple one, not to give up.
Yeah.
Um, the system can seem a little bit overwhelming at the start, and finding a good doctor or a good psychiatrist can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to give up. There's plenty of help out there, and I'm living a very happy, stable life now. So it is achievable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, really, really, just not give up and utilize the resources and support networks that are out there.
That's awesome. So, as Matt said earlier, he does have his bipolar support group. They meet on the last Monday of every month at 3 p.m. here at Real Life Assistance. Uh, we are so lucky to be able to share Matt's journey with him, to be able to watch him as he opens up to support others. Um, Come on down if you want to chat more to Matt, you want to find out more. But thank you so much for watching Real Life, Real Talk, Living with Bipolar. Thank you, Matt, so much for coming in.
Pleasure.